Good morning, DFC, and welcome back to another lesson in grade 9 English. I'd like to just say thank you again for watching these videos, and I hope that you're getting something out of it. Today we'll be learning another storytelling element. So we look at things like conflict, irony, plot. Today we're going to be looking at suspense and how it's used to generate interest in a story, because a good story not only needs conflict, it also needs suspense. And suspense is what generates interest in a story. It is what keeps readers wanting to read on, which is something every author wants to do. What's the point of writing a story if no one wants to read it, right? So authors put suspense in their story to encourage the readers to keep reading that story and maybe other stories by that author, so that they essentially create repeat customers. Because writing is essentially a business. If no one is reading your books, you're not making money. If people are reading your books, you're going to make money. All right, so that's just a little introduction about suspense. First things first is watch this video, and if you're doing that, great job. Next, we're up to journal session number 9. We're getting up there. So we have 15 in total. We're up to 9 already. So just complete another entry in your journal, which is located here in the Google Classroom's classwork tab. Just follow the instructions if you don't know where it is. And today, I want to talk about suspense. So what exactly is suspense? Suspense is basically a state of mental uncertainty, and usually awaiting a decision or outcome. And it's accompanied by a degree of apprehension and anxiety. It's a feeling that we have of uncertainty where we don't know what's going to happen next. For example, in a mystery story, we don't know who the killer is. We want to find out who the killer is or who the villain is, but we don't find that out until the end, which makes us want to read through or watch the story so that we find out who the bad guy is, who the murderer is. Sorry. Now, I have a short article here from Writer's Digest on how writers can create suspense in their stories. So I want you to click on this article and read it. So you can just read that on your own. And it's just 9 tips. So the article ends here. 9 tips for how you, as a writer, can create suspense in your work. So task 3 is reading 3 short stories. I know it says 3. Usually we only do 1 a day, but these are 3 much shorter short stories. So I'd like you to read 3 of those, and they can be found right here. And they're all about the Wendigo, the mythical creature associated with cannibalism and a never-ending hunger. There's a short introduction as to what a Wendigo is, if you're not familiar, and then it gets into the short stories. For example, this Wendigo spirit story, it's not even a full page. So yeah, there's nothing longer than 2 pages. Then finally, I'd like you to answer these short answer questions. So using the someone wanted but so then method, I'd like you to just summarize one story. One story. So give me the story's title here, and then just tell me these things about the short story to summarize it. So just pick one. Pick whichever one you want to do. And then question, so you get 5 marks for that. That's 1 for each box correctly answered. Question 2 is, which story do you think was most suspenseful? And be sure to answer, prove, and explain your response. So this is a little review from Unit 1. So if you're not sure what answer, prove, explain, or ape writing is, check out the last page of this document. Oop, accidentally deleted it. There we go. So yeah, check out this page about ape writing. So I think the most suspenseful story was blank because blank, and there's your answer right there. Then give me a proof and then an explanation of that proof. And so you just need 3 sentences minimum. So you get 3 marks, 1 for your answer, 1 for proof, 1 for explanation. Number 3 is give me an example for each story of suspense. So give me a quote, the page you found that quote on, and then just a brief explanation about how that quote creates suspense. So I took a quote from Wrong Chill Wendigo and I said, that's the shivering dream from a nightmare. That's the shivering from a nightmare dream when it sits you up in fear awake. So I have the quote, the page number, and then why it creates suspense. I said the quote shows how Upechisuke is unsure about what he's being asked to do by the owl. So remember, suspense is not knowing what's going to happen next. So the reader doesn't know what the main character is going to be asked by the owl. We find out as we go through the story, but that's what suspense is. So give me 3 examples of suspense, 1 per story, and then an explanation. So remember, the quote and the page number go into this column here. Your explanation goes into the right-hand column. And then finally, why do you think suspense is so important to these types of stories? Why do horror stories or thriller stories need suspense? Why do mysteries need suspense? And I want you to think about what effects they could have on their audience. So why does a horror, a mystery, a thriller story need suspense? And just a fun fact for anyone who likes video games, Wendigos recently appeared in 2016's Until Dawn as like the evil spirit, the evil cannibal spirit who's killing off the main characters. All right, so today's marking scheme, there are 4 questions only. You get 15 marks for answering those 4. So please pay attention to the marking schemes for each question. And you can get another 4 marks for writing mechanics, that's spelling, grammar, punctuation. So the better you write, the more marks you'll get for writing mechanics. All right, as usual, I'll be online in Google Meet if you have any questions. And if not, good luck on today's assignment, and I hope to see you guys online. Have a good day. Bye.